This is Tom Meyer, Superintendent of Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. It's a short week. It's Thanksgiving week. We do not have school on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone on Thursday. We will resume school on Monday, but some things going on yet this week. We have a full day of school yet today. We have fruit sales still going on by the athletic department. Talk to any middle school student about that. Or you can contact the Bellevue offices, either at the middle school, high school office at 872-4001, or you can call the central office here at 872-4913 to place that order. We need those in shortly after Thanksgiving, I think the Monday after Thanksgiving. And that fruit will be available for pickup on December 19th, actually. But anyway, some other things going on with our students as well. We have this week here coming up today yet, and this is our only real activity for this week is for the rest of this week is today. We have a middle school wrestling meet at Northeast, First Comanche Northeast. That's at 4:15. Our middle school wrestlers will be traveling down there. Then we have our first high school basketball game. It's a girls game for the season here. It's a JV girls and varsity girls game at Monticello, and that will begin 6 o'clock JV, varsity approximately 7:30. I encourage you to go out there and see the team playing out there. It's Coach Rick Ray's first game as head coach, Dave Wright serving as assistant that way. So it'll be some really positive things out there. I think you'll be really happy to see our girls playing. They've been working extremely hard, so I encourage you to get out to that game. Or if you can't make that game, Tuesday night we open up with a quad here. We have JV boys and girls starting at 4:30. Playing at the same time, two separate gyms, 4:30 against Comanche, and then we end up playing varsity girls at 6 o'clock versus Comanche, and then the varsity boys at 7:30 approximately versus Comanche. So that's on Tuesday. We also have a middle school wrestling meet coming up that same day. Excuse me, not on that day, but on the Monday before that, we have a couple activities going on. We have middle school 8th grade girls basketball at home versus North Cedar. 7th grade girls basketball is at North Cedar. Then we have a middle school wrestling meet at Monticello that night against Comanche and North Cedar and Monticello. And then we have a JV wrestling, and that is actually at North Lynn, and that is Monday night. So I kind of skipped over that. So Monday night we have those middle school games and the wrestling. Tuesday night we have the high school basketball games, the home opener for both our boys and girls teams that way. Just a couple things here. Pass along to you about education here. I was at the school board convention with some of the school board members on last Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday predominantly was the conference. Just a couple things about that. We talked about what is great teaching. Sarah Brown Wessling, a former teacher of the year, not just in the state of Iowa, but nationally. Talked about that. Great teaching is not a script. It can be messy. It's not standing in front of a classroom and reading a script, going right from a textbook, things like that. It's creating things. What are your students' interests in developing things that way? The game of school, handing out papers, telling them what's right or what's wrong, that is not school and education anymore. That's in the past. So we have to recognize that. As educators, we teach. It's human work. We need to see in young people, well, maybe they haven't seen in themselves yet and what they're capable of seeing in themselves. So some very important things that way. When you look at curriculum at the same time, it needs to cross disciplines. It's not just math and math class, not just English and English class, science and science class. We need to integrate those things together. Industrial tech can have a lot of English and a lot of math and science and whatever the case is. Mr. Toops recently with the science students in chemistry, they tie-dyed shirts. There's a lot of chemistry there, but there's also a lot of art that goes with that as well. It's creating versus memorizing. It's not regurgitating information from a textbook and throwing it on a test. It needs to be applying that information. We're working to get better at that each and every day. Unfortunately, our state tests don't necessarily view it that way, but when we look at the whole aspect of what education is about, that's what it's about. At the convention, several of us from the Bellevue schools presented about problem-based learning, and one of the first questions we asked people, what do they want their students to leave with? These were, school board members, superintendents, principals, some teachers there, and things like that. They talk about problem solving, critical thinking skills, collaboration, those types of things. Those aren't measured on a standardized test. Like I said, our standardized test scores are going okay. They're above average, which is great. But there's more to it than that. We need to have students who can apply their information and go beyond that. It's that creating something instead of memorizing. It's that applying information instead of just writing it down on a sheet of paper. And we need activities that are focused on inquiry, having kids think about what's going on. That's what life is about. No matter where you're working at, you have to be thinking about what's going on. And that students also need to see relevance in their work that they need to do here. So that's another whole aspect of problem-based learning and what we're striving to do here for the betterment of our students and the betterment of our community, nation, and world, ultimately that way. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. That's all for this week. I'll be back next week with another message for Believe in the Blue. Have a great one.